this today. Yeah. That's fine. Um, yeah, it's Christmas, so like I'm not expecting anything too crazy. But if you guys saw news today, we actually had, I think it was unemployment. Yeah, we had unemployment claims today, and that came out positive. So um less unemployment claims would be positive for the dollar. Therefore, if we're sweeping a daily low, if we're sweeping a daily low and we're sweeping the current daily low, then we have a double sweep. So it just, I'm kind of getting the vibe that we're gonna go a little bit higher. Just getting the vibe. At least a pullback, right? Bare minimum here. But I am expecting that to be taken out, and then we just solidify this to this, and then early next year we just continue lower, hopefully. But like I was getting thrown off because whenever we got that pullback from Sunday, like this is Sunday, this is Friday, sorry, right? Once we had Sunday open, which is like here, I thought we were going, like we didn't get any setups like at all. Let me show you. So like just from market open, which was like around here. Let me do a different color. Also, how do you guys like this red? I'm like 50-50 on it. I kind of want to go blue. I just don't like how the blue contrasts with the black. But anyways, um, we had market open, and I was hoping we would come back to our POI here. I'll show you the POI here in a bit. Excuse me. And then so like this was obviously Asia session, and then we just kind of kept rolling over, and we didn't even get a setup until yesterday, which is the setup that I had here. Right. So I was looking at this continuation. The reason why I was looking for this continuation, the black background messes up my eyes. Bro, get some blue light glasses. Like some real ones. I can recommend some. I'm actually looking to like hit them up and see if I can get like a sponsorship. Bro, they game changer. So like all right, I'm not like in that full rabbit hole or whatever. But hold on, give me one sec. I'm not in that full rabbit hole or whatever, like the like, your circadian rhythm and all that stuff. But so an LED light is not just a light flashing at you. It's like always flickering at you. That's what causes like movement on the screen, right? Unless you have like a thermal based light. So like that consistent flickering of light towards you, that is essentially what ruins your circadian rhythm, which means like it fucks up your sleep. You don't build like natural melatonin, etc. So like the blue light lenses, they block most of the blue light out, and you can naturally start to build melatonin at night, especially so that way you know your sleep schedule gets back to normal. And it's actually
Ира,
like
можешь мене
naturally.
поздравити?
Yo, what the fuck? Why are you unmuting your mic, yo? What the fuck? Um, yeah, so they've kind of fixed up my entire sleep schedule, bro. Like right now I'm waking up at like 5, 6 in the morning, just like no like naturally, you know? So that's how I know that my sleep schedule is back on track once I start waking up early. And I don't have any alarms. Like I woke up today 15 minutes before my alarm. Like I had my alarm for 7 a.m., which is like New York open. Uh, but I woke up like at 6:45 or something. So I'm like, that's perfect. But yeah, they're game changer, bro. Game changer. I'm using these right now. I'll show you the ones that I have right now, and I'm hoping like to hit them up. But let's see. Red spec. These are the ones that I have now. All right, yo. I does it like let me see. I'm not gonna allow you guys to mute. I mean to unmute right now. It's like when you video screen from your phone, you see the flickering. Exactly. But that's like every light, like every screen, like everywhere. That is like the whole, like that's everything. You know what I mean? Like every light is consistently flickering at you. Let me see if I can find a quick video for you guys. How do LED lights mess up your, just a quick short, just so you guys can see. Um, Let me actually share with my volume, share sound. Here we go.
Have you ever had this happen while filming a video? Those annoying flickering lights on
Yeah, see that
screens?
flickering, that
Well, a lot of
flickering.
times you'll hear
You
that the
see
only
it
way
if you really want to see it, like play a video on your computer and record it on your phone. You will see it.
to
But
fix
like
this
this
is
flickering is always going on. That shit is always going on, and it fucks up your eyes. It fucks up everything pretty much. So I've been using like green light glass, I mean blue light glasses and shit like that. This is a good reputable brand. But there's a few, right? There's um a lot of fake blue light lenses, um but yeah. Anyways, um yeah, the basic ones from Amazon, especially if they're like a clear lens, then they're bullshit. If they're a clear lens, there's no such thing as a true blue light lens that's clear. So, but this is not looking good. I don't know. Anyways, we'll go back to this. So yesterday, right, we had just swept the daily low like here. And so like my rule is like if I sweep a daily low, especially if I'm like on an intraday time or like a scalp or intraday time frame, it's like I cannot take the immediate continuation or I cannot look for a transition here if we've just swept a big area of liquidity because I'm expecting this to, for example, if this is breaking, then that's CBOS. So I'm looking at continuation. So in order for me to reach back down here, I would need liquidity to be swept. It solidifies a high or solidifies the low as an immediate target. And then I would need my internal transition, which here was potentially a dual sweep, right? For the people who have the sweep blueprint. And then internally we can see right after the dual sweep, the second sweep, which the reason why you need the second sweep is because obviously the external may have swept here, but like the internal still needs to also complete order flow. So as soon as that then completes and then you have a transition, um, then you're not able to kind of get a reaction. So we can see here that tapped the POI, and then that ended up dying. But this was like the position, right? High momentum off of a sweep, and then we're also sweeping this, right? So we have one sweep, dual sweep, transition, and then we're looking for a position and that ended up kind of working out really nicely, you know? But now that that's completed, it's like complicated now because like from here, if you guys can see, that was where the transition was. It's like if if we now have this sweep completed, and then we now have also started to begin any kind of pullback, and then on EU, right, this is why I sold last night, right? Like I'm still confident this will cover probably go lower, and I'm hoping that that pulls GU with it if dollar keeps going up, and then EG, hopefully pushes up, but it's because this is going down, GU might go down. I may go up, sorry. Um, but yeah, if this continues a bit higher, then it would support my bias here on EU because if I'm looking at this now from EU's inverse POV, it's like we swept equal highs. And not only that, but the cool thing about taking this sell yesterday, I actually took this like I believe like when the price was like around here, I set a sell limit right before I went to bed. But this was a bit soon because considering if we break this point, then we now have obviously the second high being swept. This is CBOS, so we have low, high, retracement, right? Because we solidify there. And then once this breaks here, then that's structural disruption. So this is very viable, right? Very, very viable. And then like the second position, like I'm kind of just hoping that news kind of like just pushes this slower. Um, I'm hoping news pushes this lower. Like I was at first looking to see if we can take a transition here, but I saw news was just about to come out. So I believe we ended up bouncing off of M3, I think it was. No, we didn't reach that high actually. But I was looking at this full POI here because it's the final buy to sell. So like because there's a buy to sell here, because there was a buy to sell, I was using this whole general area as like pretty much a protected range to then get me to continue lower. And my position was after this little reaction here. And I just have my stop loss at invalidation because if we have a reaction from the POI, then if that breaks, then that's OFD, which means I am not bearish. Right. And GU is a weird one. I think this one might take a loss, if I'm being honest. I think this one might lose. Just because based on the 70 and then internal range. But what's throwing me off with GU is like high momentum on the high. I was hoping we could reach a bit lower before we start buying. And then like this is also fucking me up here. Like this is probably going to keep going lower. So GU will probably keep going higher. Um, but GU is actually a little bit cleaner outside of trading within a discount. So like we have low into high, took out daily high. We have CBOS and then we have structural disruption right here. So I was kind of just hoping to see if this would kind of roll over for me. But like if I'm looking for like a conservative entry, it's like I need the internal to switch. Like I need this internal to well now it would be here. So like I would need this to break if I really wanted to sell this like as a high probability scenario. I would need that to shift because then it would pretty much signify, right, LG here and then potentially LG here. And then this would be LGC to the downside. All right. But that's pretty much like all that's going on right now. Nothing crazy. I'm hoping to buy GU in January. Uh Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Because this is like straight up reversal chasing, right? And like I can only really judge a reversal if I get structural disruption. And like I will only trade structural disruption if it's at a premium of a range, right? Because then it would give me the high risk reward to the downside. But like this one is looking a little bit more bearish. And I'm just hoping if we start stalling out for like the next like 30, 40 minutes, I'm gonna just close this. But like if we're like, wanting to know where like trailed stop would be, my trail stop is here. If we have this POI and then we break, then that's OFD, so trail stop is here. But how's everybody doing? We got some people on here today, right? Well, we do have some people today. How's everybody doing? Is anybody actually trading? I know some people saw Brendan take a position here. This is kind of crazy. Um, I believe he took this position, if I'm not mistaken. I'm absolute. Um, that sounds like a Call of Duty gamer tag, bro. Done training for the year. Good. I mean, that's fine. That's good. That's good. That's also like something we talked about last week. It's just like, when do you know when to stop? It's just like, is that just like a belief that you have? Is that a data backed inference that you've made? Um, you know what I mean? Yeah, I need this to give me something. But yeah, let me show you guys this markup here a little bit. So this would be a dual sweep, but like this is a reversal. So like you guys here, if I'm looking to trade a range, I usually want to trade a continuation range. And the only way I would trade a reversal range is if like I get a SD. But like I don't think we broke this low here. Yeah, we didn't. We didn't break that low. So if we would have broke this low and then we got a break to the upside, that's 100% structural disruption. But if we zoom in a bit, then we can no, actually we can't argue it no because no, we didn't break this low here. But so it's technically not structural disruption here, but like on EU, technically we can because we broke this internal high. Internal high led into low, that's broken, solidified low. Then that pullback high is broken or pullback low isn't broken. So we have structural disruption. So like I'm just hoping this rolls over. And then this would be like the only point of interest that like can bother me. Uh External, sorry. Just had a brain fart. This one's been doing crazy. Someone was telling me they wanted to buy here, bro. Fuck that. Like, fuck that, bro. You're trying to buy at a crazy premium. Fuck that. I would not buy here, especially after like this. And then you break. Like, this is all clearly to the downside. Or at least after this, maybe I'll think about it. But I just didn't like how fast this move was. I didn't like how fast this move was from up here, especially because we didn't tap this daily POI here. And if I look at the other dollars, actually no, this one did tap here, but this one didn't tap. So like that inefficiency, I don't like. And if we have some momentum here, then it would be fair to even hold EU a little bit lower, which would be like this position. Like I have two positions from up there, so like this could scale. Um, but yeah, how's everybody doing? What are we watching? Do we have any trades that anybody's looking at? Watch this actually work. This would be so cool if this worked. Now, especially. Watch this work. This would be so cool. What is this shit doing? Uh-huh. Give me that sweep. And then like the only reason why this is viable, like, is because of this. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the markup. I don't know if I sent it in the public chat, but like we're sweeping a daily low. So like give me a reaction in the opposite direction. I don't care if it keeps going down, but just give me something, you know? So clearly this is bearish. And I sold here. I believe I showed y'all that. And then now it's like we swept equal lows, we have a reaction that's confirmed, and now we're kind of ranging. So like if we get this and then we get a reaction, maybe a structural disruption internally, then like that's the beginning of the pullback, and then we'll take this out, and then after that, who the fuck knows? Right. And but as long as I get that, then that would push this down. You see what I'm saying? You see? So it's pushing this down, and it's kind of basing it off of this POI here. But it's all structure. Like this is all structure. Just these two lines is defining my entire bias. And let me ignore these sections right here. These are I'm kind of I'm making like I'm finishing up the document for the private group. How often do you still backtest? I don't care to backtest, bro. Tweak my system. Look. This is such a big like misconception, I think. Like profitability is like is not a title that you earn and you just keep. Like profitability is a how do I say it? It's in the present tense. It's like it's a state, it's a current state. Like just because I have a decent system now, right? Like it could automatically fail off the bat. You know what I mean? But like just because you're profitable 1 year doesn't mean you're gonna be profitable the next 2 years. And like the thing about that is then why is that? Is it because the system sucked at first? Because you could have data, right? Like obviously, sure, but like you build market IQ over time, and then you add and subtract different concepts over time as well. So like that means that your data now from back then may not be as viable today because you have more experience, you have more IQ, you have more stuff that you're using. So like if you're profitable, then you don't become profitable. It's either a state of you were lucky, it's either um maybe the new built up IQ that you have is clouding your judgment in some kind of way, and it's maybe adding a belief that you might need a break, right? It could be various things, you know? So like I don't backtest, I don't care to backtest, but like I do have non-negotiables, which is always going to be my entire system is based on market structure. So like after that, I'm really only looking to refine ways to have my concepts not assume anything per se. Like there's so much that you can probably assume based on a chart. Like people say, like go to M15 for to find your intraday bias and just use it in M15 range. And I'm like, okay, like what does that mean? Like what does that mean from an M15 range? Like how long like does this range need to be to reach a threshold of this being a high momentum pro trend um structural range that you can then use to keep buying. So like there's stuff that I feel like I assume and like I'm trying to break those beliefs and kind of just get rules that will help that be a little bit more concrete because it's until everything is concrete that I can actually how do I say this that I can actually once I'm using the system and everything is concrete and it's working, then I can define it as true. I can define this as a true working system. But like it's a work in progress. I don't know. Hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to say. But but yeah, hopefully this keeps rolling over and hopefully this fucks off. That's crazy. See, it's still bearish. So yeah, this is fighting momentum here for sure. But yeah, if you guys want some like free, I guess tips, it's like a free tip today. It would be let's say we're here, right? Let's say actually sorry. Let's say yeah, actually, you know what? Fuck, I mean, you guys have already seen the price action. It's like a lot of people will like try to buy this entire region, right? Because we technically topped. And like, they're oh, that's annoying, my bad. A lot of people want to buy this region, right? To take this higher. And like I can say that the reason why is that because we're sweeping a daily high, that it probably wouldn't make sense. It probably is, I'm probably selling a bit too high. And that's although that may be true, it's like reactions tell me more than anything. Like I care more about reactions than having like a predetermined bias. So like if we're bullish, right, then obviously if this comes back down here and I get a transition, then I will buy this, no worries. But because we have a free reaction on the upside and that confirmed the low, then we have structural disruption, then this range is no longer viable. So if this range is no longer viable as a POI to go higher because we already reacted and failed to go higher, then I can now assume this to be right a potential target. That's what structural disruption is. It's a failed continuation. There's a lot of stuff I want to get into next year too, with uh with like making videos and stuff. I want to see if I can build a framework for making like 6, 7 minute videos that covers X topics. Just because I'm sick and tired. Like sometimes I'll stumble upon trading videos and the editing on there is just it's all the same. Everybody uses like the Mangazi style these days, and it's really annoying in my opinion. I don't know if you guys like highly edited videos like that, but I'm trying to see if I can build a framework where I can make like a small presentation and explain a concept in like 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Greetings from Peru. Peru, welcome, welcome. Okay, yeah, this is not looking good. I'm not gonna move my chart stop, by the way. I'm gonna just do it there. Let me actually check. But yeah, the do you have any questions, guys? Any what have you guys been up to? Hey, English stream only, please. English only. This is not a Spanish stream. That's why I separated the Discords, guys. But yeah, this technically reached target, but these positions I'm kind of holding off on. But actually no, I think that's when I took a loss. No, actually no, never mind. But yeah, if this begins to reverse, like it's probably like GG's. Can I show you what I saw today on NQ? I mean, yeah, it's just that this is an English stream, bro, so everything has to be in English. But yeah, it looks like this is gonna fail. And if this fails, I'm kind of done. Uh, Probably for the week, because tomorrow's a bank holiday. But yeah, has there been anything else going on around here? Let's see. Oh, this is structural disruption here. This is a great buy. This would have been a decent buy if you guys can see that. And then obviously POI, TP. Excuse me. But yeah, do you have any case studies you guys want to go through? Anything do you still swing trades? Nah, not really. Not really. Ever since I refined my market structure and what levels I want to align, it's been a bit more difficult to hold trades over a long time. It's primarily like scalp intraday. You see. Okay, cool. We got some case studies. Let's go over these case studies while and then we'll come back to these other positions. Okay, the before. I like the entry. I don't like scenarios like these though. I hate when you get a sweep and it's like an immediate jump up because then like the entire region it's a pretty big stop loss. And then I don't want to catch myself like taking a loss and then seeing this go higher. This is I hate scenarios when it does something like that, that little V shape. Okay, cool. Maybe there is a maybe there's asset divergence here with silver. Check if that low is swept. If that low is swept, then that actually benefits your trade. Yeah. Okay, nice. So I think you might have taken a if this low was solidified here on M1, then I guess it's viable, but not my cup of tea. And then this ended up mitigating here again, but nah, not my cup of tea here. Oof, this one's early. This one's definitely early. I just say early because you have high momentum to the downside, even though you did technically break structure here, but you could also interpret that as a sweep, and then you have high momentum to the downside, and then you have this wick rejection candle here. So like I just think you're a little early here. Let's see if there's a yeah, like I see why you're bullish. But your invalidation is here. And that's an engulfing, that's a decent sign. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that does look good actually. See, so let's go to that actually. Oh shit, wrong one. So if we go to Nas, I think that was here. M3. See, so like, wait, am I tripping? Was that today? December 23? This is yesterday. Yeah, here. So like, let's say we're looking at this and like you see the sweep. You see the sweep here, unsubstantial new low, and then you get the reaction to the upside, but you have high momentum to the downside. Like I would wait literally for anything. Just give me a sign of unwillingness down here, and then I can justify it. Like literally, as long as even here, for example, I see this reaction, this break, right? That shows to me that we have a um this high is solidified, then that breaks, which means this is unwillingness to continue lower. So then you could even use that entire region. And even though the RR isn't the best, this is like to me, a much more probable scenario. So like there, but the RR is definitely not going to be the best. But like I would obviously aim for that previous high there, right? Because then if you have that internal structural disruption, then that's the only way that I would be able to trade, right? A reversal range because this is bearish and the external is bullish. This is a reversal range, but that would be the only way unless there's like a continuation, which no, there wasn't. No. That's crazy though. It actually kept going. This is super choppy. I don't think this is gonna work out today, guys, if I'm being honest. And then if this goes on till tomorrow, then tomorrow's a bank holiday, I believe. Yeah, everything is closed. Yeah, bank holiday tomorrow. So yeah, this will probably be it for the week then, from what I'm looking at. See, there we go. Bingo. Nice. Nice, nice. What's cool too is like look at this, look at the timing on this. It's 10 a.m. So like look at the H4. Let this close up all high, like close high in the next hour and a half, and that would be perfect. Unless it just kind of melts on me quick, you know? But if you look at M1, we'll probably see a disruption somewhere. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Disruption. Disruption there. So like now it just like I need this to hold and then please go higher. Uh, and I like this too. Is this disruption here? So like we have a bullish break. So this is clearly bullish. This is a CBOS. This is the reaction pullback. This is now done. So like this is a like technically a like conservative entry because it's disruption, but that would then be like ideal for like going lower. Not a signal, not financial advice. I don't do signals. But this region's bigger than my POI, right? Yeah, like this transition here kind of gave it away. This is like the perfect thing here because like this is like the aggressive side, right? Because for example, this is what confirms LGC. Like let me hide this. So like if I'm trying to trade an internal LGC, it's like obviously you guys know that the LG, the external LGC is there, but then I need LGC internally, and then that would be another potential entry. But this is like the aggressive way, whereas the conservative way is like obviously we have LG here. But now I would need not only this break, because this is all those LG, this is I have to acknowledge that this is internally still bullish. So it's a CBOS. So then if we have disruption, then it's like a conservative entry. So now it's just like now my invalidation is there. Like that would be like the more conservative approach per se. So it's like if this breaks like this high here, then cooked, you know, I'm cooked. But like, I don't know, it's just like a low volume day. So like I would love to see this kind of just expand higher after taking this low. And then hopefully, yeah, DXY go a little bit higher if it doesn't want to be fucking annoying. That'd be cool. But yeah, I actually have some cool stuff I've been working on, guys. I don't want to show too much. But I will be you guys should be expecting the LGC blueprint. It's already done. I just if I'm gonna be honest, like I want to add like a little barrier to get it. And I think I want to do a newsletter. So like I'll even give y'all my little business plan. I don't give a fuck. Like I don't care if y'all know this. But if I have my LGC blueprint, then let's just say you can access this only by getting into my newsletter. But this will also include like a 7-day free trial for my indicator, which is like this one here. Right. So like my structure indicator. Um I've been kind of messing around with the modes. I have 3 modes on it. But I want to do like a free trial for this, plus give you guys the LGC blueprint, which is only it's like 20 pages. It's nothing crazy, but it's like the full A plus guide for it. And I want to do it via the newsletter because obviously like if you guys want to get access to the free trial, you guys would need to give me your trading view handle so I can add it to the backend, of trading view. So that way it's like a plus for you guys because you're getting 2 for 1, which is like the LGC blueprint plus the indicator for 7 days. And then I'm winning too because my newsletter is getting stuff which I won't be spamming on there. Like honestly, I probably rarely even like use it, but like just to have it just in case. So like I'll be winning because my newsletter is going to be getting contacts, and I get a higher email open, and like pretty much better analytics with email being open, emails being responded to, because you guys have to give me your handle to get the free trial. So it's like a win-win. You guys get 2 for 1 and I get 2 for 1. But that's like the plan. I'm hoping to get that done. It's gonna be like a small site. I'm hoping to get that done like by the end of the week. But by the end of today, hopefully. But I have that coming. Then I'm building um the cheat sheet for the members, which is really cool. I use like 5 years of data to like build a bunch of different shit. Um, and yeah, it's actually come out pretty nicely from asset correlations to volume distribution. Like these pairs are giving out the most volume during these times, and that's for like every asset, like with from every currency cross plus NAS plus the indices, and then plus like gold and silver and oil. Those are really the only ones I cared to put on there. And then the third one, the third part of that is I don't know if you guys ever hear people talk about like daily cycles, and it's like if this and this and this, but like I only see people talk about like 2 different combinations, whereas like in reality there's like a lot more. So if there's a lot more, then I can only limit, or I have to like find parameters on how to limit each cycle. So like by that I mean there's only 3 things that can happen, which is like consolidation, right? A manipulation, which is like a V, inverse V, and then like an impulse, right? Those are the only 3 things that can happen. So like based on that, in order to get like a New York framework, which would be like Asia, London, this happens, and New York, you can project this, then there is a total of I think 9 combinations three different based on three different outcomes. I mean, three different variables, which is consolidation, manipulation, impulse, right? And the reason why that works is just like if there's three different variables and then I'm using 2 sessions to frame the third, and it's just 3 to the power 2, which means there's 9 possible combinations. So I got every single combination for daily cycles, and I put them on the data, or I use the data for the past 5 years since COVID to try to validate each scenario. And so hopefully that can like give frameworks as to how New York could play out based on what Asia and London did. Whereas it's not just like 2 or 3 cycles that people talk about. Hopefully that makes sense though. I'm sure that probably didn't make a whole bunch of sense, but yeah. Yeah, you know what? Give me that here. Hopefully that made sense. I will be watching that, but yeah, bro, it's like which part, bro? Because there's 3 part. So that like the cheat sheet is like it's composed of like 3 things. It's like the cheat sheet has like I put like a small guide for like market structure slash our models, which is like the 4 core models like OFD, LGC, SD, and sweep. And I put like examples for each. And then I also added like details on how to personalize the model, um, which is like for other people. And then that's like section 1. And then section 2, it's like I put all a bunch of tips and tricks basically. So it's just like stuff that I know on a chart that I don't necessarily that I know in my head, but I don't know physically on the chart. I wanted to see if I can start to recognize patterns and like tendencies that I would have. And I call that like your intuition. So I wanted to try to see if I can note my intuition on paper. And I found a bunch of like stuff that I consistently do. And I just noted those down. And then section 3 about the cheat sheet is like using the 5 years of data to correlate or find correlations between all the crosses and see which correlations make sense, which correlations have made sense over the past 5 years. Like is the variance low? By variance, I mean is the change of the relationship between the correlation of 2 assets, has it been sustainable over the past 5 years, or over the past 5 years has it fluctuated each year? So like if it's low variance and it's a more consistent relationship, and so that's for asset correlation, which people call like SMT or some shit. Uh, and then the second part is volume distribution. So like based on the movements of the past 5 years, let's just say Euro USD moved X% of its whole entire volume during this session. So it's pretty much to help people know what pairs to trade during what session, if that makes sense. That's volume distribution. And then the third one is what I just said about daily cycles. So like if there is impulse, consolidation, or manipulation, then if I'm using a framework of Asia, London, New York, then I'm using Asia and London to frame New York. So if there is 2 sessions and 3 variables, then that means that there are 9 possible daily cycle variations. And then I just use data to kind of make a hierarchy from 1 to 9. That's like the simplest way I can explain it. That's like what the cheat sheet is. All right, is this gonna fail? Or is this gonna fail? Or is this gonna like just stall? But either way, like moving this, use this. I'm about to move this on my MetaTrader right now. That's like Mitrode right now. Great Christmas present right there. Yeah, I'm gonna make that 100% free. I don't know if I would sell it to the public. I don't know if I want to, but I showed Lex Waves that, and he really liked the document. It's really intuitive. Like out of all the currency, indice, and commodity crosses, there's like 500 combinations, and I put them all on a spreadsheet. What's the name of the indicator? Which one? There's two. I use two. I have two. I have the free one and the paid one. My free one is My free one is like trading sessions, um, which I only use my I use like the I use like my Asia session, I use my London open, and then I have my New York open. So the first hour of London, the first hour of New York, and then all the Asia session. But I omit the first 30 minutes for Asia session because this data varies a lot by broker. Like the first 30 minutes, like you see a lot of different stuff. That's why I use FXCM because it's the least manipulated in my eyes, at least based on just what I've seen. Um, but that's like my free one. And then my paid one is this one. And like Lex told me this morning, he's like, bro, you should add alerts to this. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe. Like to tell me when it goes from bullish to bearish, when it goes from bearish to bullish, etc. Because like if you want to look here, like even if I didn't have it on while we were looking at this, but like let me see if I can change this. Okay, you see the market as time went on. I noticed things that I was able to refine. Yeah, bro. I would just go to the Spanish chat, bro. Go to the Spanish chat. I'll do like a Spanish Zoom later on, but um let me see. I want to see if this gave any transitions. So it notes the pivots you see. So it's still bearish. So now that confirmed it, you guys see that it confirmed. It confirmed there after that break. So it has to break a certain low and it has to meet a certain amount of candles to trigger a pivot. And a pivot is like each high and low. See, so once it fully breaks and then a certain amount of candles go by, then it then does the pivot. So he wanted me to like see if I can make some alerts for this, and maybe I don't know, maybe because like here, let's just go like here for example. Right, this is now bullish because we broke through the high, so this is bullish at the moment, and then still bullish. Okay, okay. Now bearish. You see that after the transition? You see that? You see that? Cool. So it's still bullish, and now it's bearish. So you see that technically would have been a confirmation for a sweep, but I don't know if it actually ended up hitting that. See? I don't know if this worked out or not, but um okay, that's annoying. My bad, guys. And then that sweep target would have been at the low there. You see? So you guys see it's pretty neat, right? So he wanted me to see if I can add alerts to it so I can maybe add it on the settings where it's like alerts and it's like show alerts for micro scalp, minor intraday, major intraday, swing, etc. And I can toggle it for each one. So like, but yeah, anyways, that's like the overview of that indicator. This one's my paid one, and then this one is my free one. I just made this free because they're tools that anybody can use. Like everybody uses some type of trading session, and then I've never seen anybody have 8 time frames on their indicator. So like I just said, fuck it. I'll make it and give it for free. But yeah, let's just roll over. Let's just roll over. But yeah, guys, any questions, concerns? What's everybody been up to? We still have quite a bit of people on, so it's like the most we've had on, I guess, like just because I'm live trading, I guess. But I didn't really say I was live trading. Uh, But yeah, do we have any questions, guys? Concerns? Watch this just reverse on me. This would be crazy. Are you still friends with Schneider and Christian? I mean, bro, I don't know what happened to them. I think Christian, he was cool, but I think he has a kid now. I don't think he trades anymore. I don't know if he trades. I think he does. I think I saw him trading last year. Schneider, he was just on some sketchy shit, man. He wanted me to help him out with like building a website with my friend, and it was some sketchy shit. So I kind of keep my distance. I mean, I wish him the best though. Like I wonder, I hope he's good. I don't really trust people in the industry these days. I guess this is the boring side of it, huh? But yeah, best case now, guys, is if we challenge this low, honestly, even if we challenge like this low here, then I'm just gonna probably take some off because this is looking like it's not gonna move. 30-minute close bearish, 15 bearish. Just yeah, it's just low volume day, guys. But this one's still going. I'm actually gonna move this here. Let me change that. This is you're like this little live analysis. Yeah, man, I should be paying fucking you guys should be paying me for this. I've never liked live trading, bro. You can't pay me enough. And also like um live trading is like difficult in terms of like what's the word? Um oh, I'm having a brain fart here. It's the amount of brain power that I have to put in to do these zooms is like difficult. It's like it's a lot. Like it's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to still put in like 6 hours of deep work for the rest of the day if I do a zoom. It would cause it, yeah, it would cause unnecessary pressure. Like my overall daily workflow would kind of fuck up. Um, because that's why I do these zooms every Friday-ish. Because after the zoom, I'm kind of just cooked. Like I'm exhausted. But yeah, watch this fuck up on me now. Just because of the low liquidity day. I don't like how this swept and did that. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. If that closes like this, I'm out of this for sure. So pretty good to see this side of things. Yeah, I mean, of course, like live trading is cool. It's just like I don't get paid enough to do that. You have triggers that get you into deep work. Zen coffee. Yeah, man. Adderall and coffee. I don't do Zins. I don't really do much nicotine. I had a bad vaping habit for like a while. But yeah, actually, like I'm gonna go ahead and probably close this. If it closes like that, yeah, I'm gonna probably close this. Yeah, I'm gonna close that. Yeah, I'm out of this. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. And yeah, since EU, yeah, fuck that. I closed that here. But EU's running strong. This is like one of the only confirmations that I would ever close a trade on. Big M5 engulfing. But yeah, fuck that. I'm not dealing with that. I actually went ahead and closed this one too. This one here. I just have this one from up high. But yeah, even if we reach here, this would be cool. Breaking this here, that would be nice. Time is at 12. We still got lots of time. I usually let trades run till like 2 p.m., which is like 3 p.m. Eastern. What do I think about trading prop firms? Prop firms, depends which ones. You talking about CFDs or future? Because they both have like their own pros and cons. CFDs, I mean, technically they're both legal scams, if I'm being honest. And the only sustainability for a prop firm is if they have a lot of losing traders, or which would be bad because then your history of amount of payouts is low. And then if they like diversify their funds after they acquire a bunch of clients. Like I think FTMO has like a big real estate thing. And don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I've heard. So then they use those funds to keep the business going. Do you trade any? Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. I don't like prop firms. I couldn't care for prop firms. And I mean, you guys seen what happened up Top Step, right? Super reputable, most reputable futures prop firm starting to fuck up. But yeah, this is probably gonna hit my short stop. Top Step does not work on global. What does that mean? Actually, if you guys want to speak, I don't mind if you guys speak. You guys can unmute if you want to. Um, Wow, that's the POI that homie pointed out. That's crazy. If that actually works out, that's crazy. Yeah, let's see. I think we got another case study. Let's go ahead and go through that real quick. I think he took this now. I like this. I've noticed the like if I'm looking at a buy to sell to buy and buy to sell, I've noticed that the buy to sell and sell to buy zones on indices are a bit different from CFDs. They're not as clean, but as long as you're directionally correct, they usually work out. I just don't like how this is already swept twice. I don't like that. So this could fail. I see. So it wanted to go lower here and then it failed. That's good. But where's that chart somebody showed? Um, it was Sam. I think he posted this. Really nice. This is gold. And then I think he was looking at this. And if that works out, that's crazy. Which I believe his zone was somewhere here. Let's see one more time. His zone was here. No, so his zone broke. So yeah, this probably does now look like it wants to go higher now. Yeah, that ended up wicking stop. If this gives me a reaction to the downside, that actually helps EU because right, like if this wicks engulfs, see like this would now be a potential sweep. So like if this wicks here, we now have divergence since that broke divergence. So that would help this propel lower. And then if this would be a sweep, that would be cool. Because then, for example, let's go back to you, GU. Yeah, because if this, let me go ahead and delete all this shit. If this sweep wins, like which means like if you get like an engulfing and then like there's a setup internally, like let's say there's an LG, let's say I get like something like that, and then I get a setup for this to go lower, then that helps EU a lot just based on USD correlation. And then based on GBP correlation, it's like this didn't sweep, but this one did. So if this breaks the high with momentum, then that would also benefit this from a GBP stance. But yeah, it just depends on how this closes. And then that way, that would be um, a catalyst to get us lower. That would be then the catalyst to hopefully get us lower. And the reason why I wouldn't aim for the POI anymore is because EU went to the POI. So then if the POI then fails and this continues lower, then I would be fine. Like this would be fine. But if this just breaks out from our trot stop, then this GU idea is obviously invalidated, and then we would just be looking at this to go higher. All right, do it make sense here, guys, or no? Yeah, you see, so that means EG is going up. Yep, that's decent. But now I just need this to roll over, which means I would need dollar to roll over too. Because this technically is still bullish. All right, if you guys watch course one content, it's like I can't be bearish unless any low is broken. But I just don't like how slow the momentum's going. So yeah, so if that ends up breaking here, then that would be unfortunate because then you would be looking at like this, but like here. But yeah, guys, do you have any questions? What have you guys been up to? You guys aren't talking too much today. Okay, nice. I just now need dollar to start pushing. I need if it breaks this high, guys, we're in the clear. If we break this high, then we're in the clear. Because then that shows me that we kind of wanted to get some momentum to the downside and that didn't work. But if we react from here, then that's not good. But yeah, if this bounces here, that would be kind of crazy. Figuring out the calendar. Hmm. But yeah, if this trail stop hits, I'm probably done for the day. But yeah, you guys have anything to talk about while we wait for this stuff? I'll probably be on for maybe like another 30 minutes either way. 30 minutes and then call it a morning. I think we've been on here for an hour already ish. See something. This is something I don't like about brokers. For example, my broker didn't hit this high, whereas FXCM did wick that high, which would make it a valid setup. But IC markets did not either. That's the only thing I don't like about CFDs. Stone. Nope. I guess only FXCM did that. That's crazy. What about Oanda? Yeah, it didn't either. Hmm. Might have to switch over to Oanda. It's always either been FXCM or Oanda. I was gonna ask if you look across multiple broker charts when entering a trade. Nah. It's not that deep. That's usually if your invalidation is fine or it's good and it's not based on a micro invalidation, then you should be fine. Nah, I just think that's kind of you're gonna confuse yourself if you do that. Like for example, if I'm really wanting to be technical, my stop should technically be here because this is the final time. Like if we're just looking at the structure internally, right? We broke this low, broke a high, and then we have high, low, high, low, high, low. So this is the last time we broke anything. So technically that should be my stop, which is probably what I'm going to do. So like if the invalidation is fine from at least a scalp POV, then usually this broker stuff doesn't really matter because these deficiencies you'll see with like price is I usually only see that like on a smaller time frame or during a new day open because you see FXCM here, and then if you go to Oanda, right, it's a little different. It's a little different. You see, but yeah, honestly, I'm hoping this kind of gets me out in the chart stop so I can just move on with my day. Oh yeah, but I saw your message. Actually, I forgot to answer, bro. I'm so sorry. Nathaniel posted a trade. That's a good trade, actually, bro. That's a very good trade. Let's look at that. That's a textbook trade. Let me see. This is a very nice trade, actually. So open link. What the fuck? What I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Very nice trade. Not gonna lie. So directionally bearish, CBOS, CBOS. Then you have OFD here technically because you have a reaction then a break. But this could also just be defined as CBOS of that internal bullish leg. So you would need the transition here. And that transition occurs when you see this reaction. Well, really, there's two. There's this reaction that then leads to this. That's why even this sell here is very viable. But then you also see a second reaction here. So then anything here that you're selling is very, very liable or good. It's a very good scenario. I just would have put your stop here. At least. All right, this is gonna look like it wants to push up. But yeah, guys, I guess we'll see how this works out. Even though this looks internally bullish, it's just like we could sweep some type of liquidity and then transition back down. That's very possible. And then that would be low or high, low, CBOS, retracement, continuation. But yeah, I think we can, unless you guys have some more questions, I'll probably just wrap it up here, guys. I don't, it's a low liquidity day, so I don't expect this to move too much for the rest of the day. But I'll probably just update on the Discord. But yeah, guys, any last questions before we sign off? Also, I will say, the pricing for everything is gonna go up January 1st. So if you guys want to purchase anything from the Discord, let's see here. I'll end it off with this. All right, if you guys are in the Discord, everything will be going up in price. So these are the current pricings. I added a quarter payment for the indicator. Excuse me. But yeah, if there's any questions, concerns with this, just either make a ticket through here, make a ticket, message RCV support, or hit me up on Instagram, and we can proceed. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys next year.